This hair really look bad.
Hi everyone, this is Dr. Gilbert. I'm here with Gail
Hi guys.
and Rachel. Hi Rachel. Rachel, where are you?
I'm in front of a brick wall in downtown Albany.
It's so pretty.
It's very pretty. Yes. I stepped outside. We were at a coffee shop and it was too noisy in there. I was hoping I could do this from the coffee shop, but it's a little quieter out here. So I hope you guys can hear me okay.
Yes. We can hear you great. All right.
Perfect.
And
Good.
we're going to pick up where we left off. So is it raining where you are? It must not be raining.
No, but it's gray and cloudy.
It's raining here.
Oh.
Yeah, it's raining here in Salem. But yeah, you have your book with you too.
I do. I was prepared.
You're prepared. Always prepared. All right, and we're kind of coming up on the home stretch, aren't we?
We are.
Yeah, 62 chapters. We're gonna have to put our heads together and see what's coming next. But anyway, we're on chapter 52, and Rachel, what's chapter 52 all about?
All right, so chapter 52, buy smaller plates and glasses. And he says, the bigger the portion, the more we eat, upward of 30% more. Mm-hmm. So just swapping out the sizes of, and I like that he adds glassware too. That's an interesting thing. I never thought of. I use a big glass for water, but what about when you're drinking other things, smaller portions? Yeah. So.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's so funny. You mentioned the glasses. Oop, I'm going to do this. We're going to get cozy.
Yeah, stay in the shot, girl.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's so funny because I do some antiquing or whatever you call that one. And I love buying the tiny little juice glasses. Not that I drink juice, I don't drink, but they're tiny. I like this.
Did you ever see the jelly glasses?
Oh, they're
jelly glasses.
Yeah, you used to eat jelly and then you
So our portion sizes have just grown and grown and grown and grown over the years. And it's pretty amazing. So that when my mom says she just has a little bit of juice, because she still drinks a little juice. I'm not a juice fan, but it's just it's a swig.
Right.
It's like 2 fingers.
Right. Yeah. Tiny swig, small portion. And we've gotten so used to in our culture this just big, everything is big. Portions are big. We jumbo size, at the drive-through. Restaurants know this, fast food restaurants know this, and everything is bigger on big plates. And so then suddenly you switch over to a small cup or a small plate, and at first, right? And I know from me this
breaking up a little bit, Rachel. All right. I think what Rachel's saying is that, at first it seems like, I'm kind of getting gypped, but then your brain actually will accept a smaller size. We'll see if she gets the bead back in, but here, let's go. Let's see if I can do it this way. Oh, that's better. That's better. Then you can see both of us.
Well, you can see it down here.
Oh, right. Perfect. Okay. So, Gail, you were talking earlier about smaller plates and your strategies. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. And especially when you go out to eat these days. Because you go out to eat these days, and yes, the prices are up, but the portions are usually very big.
Yeah.
And I've gotten so I either share something with a friend or know in my head I'm going to take half of it home. And they'll put it on that big plate. But it's just funny when you get it home, it doesn't look like so much because it's half of what you were.
Right. Yeah.
But if you have a strategy for not eating it while you're out, I was just thinking of it while you're out.
Right. Yeah. Awesome. And so like as soon as the food is brought to the table,
ask for a to-go box.
That's right.
I've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah, it does help. And then when you're at home using here she is. Hi, Rachel.
She's back.
Okay. Hey,
Sorry, guys.
no worries. No worries. Gail was just telling us one of her strategies when she goes out to a restaurant with friends is to either share or ask for a box immediately.
Love that idea. Love that idea. You go in, and before you even order your food, you're saying, please bring me a to-go box. So you already, you're letting your mind know and your body prepare for, I'm only going to eat part of this. I'm not going to eat all of it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, initially I did that because I needed to, to keep myself from eating the whole portion. Now I do it because I really don't want the whole portion.
Isn't that interesting how it went from a mindful, intentional action to now what you desire more naturally? And
exactly.
You wouldn't consider eating the whole portion. You know now, based on training your eyes, your mind, your stomach, they're all connected.
Right, right. And I know that, I mean, it's the research that has shown that when there's more food served, there's more food eaten. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, there's that one research where they put the hole, I think we talked about this before, the bowl of soup, and they put a hole in the bottom of the soup, and they keep filling it up. As the person's eating the soup, it keeps gently refilling, and the person just keeps eating because, oh, I still have soup left. But the people who had just a single real bowl of soup, they finished the soup and were completed, you know?
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. So, a smaller plate is a great idea. And I do think that we have talked about it. First of all, we don't need that much food.
Right.
And, we just don't need that much. I mean, our bodies, our brains accept a full plate, a fuller small plate than a less empty large plate. We feel deprived when we have the same amount of food on a large plate versus abundance, the same amount of food on a smaller plate. So it's coming from that deprivation and scarcity versus abundance. So,
Absolutely.
And same amount of food. It's amazing. Yeah.
And my generation grew up with dinner plates. And your dinner plate was a dinner plate. And that's what you did for dinner and never thought anything about it. In my home now, I have dinner plates if I'm going to have company. But what I eat is something just a little larger than a salad plate. And that's become my dinner plate. Yeah. But I had to really think about going there.
Yeah, I think somebody was telling me they were kitchen cabinets have changed size because our dinner plates have changed size. Were you telling me that?
No, that doesn't surprise me though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, our dinner plates used to be, I don't know, 8, 9 inches. Now they're
12-inch plates.
Now it's 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's a huge plate.
They don't fit into an old.
Right, and I bet that our dishwashers have had to change the way that you can load these plates and bowls.
True.
Yeah.
Another one, like Gail, along what you were saying, I recently got a new plate set, and it came with bowls, which I guess you consider them kind of soup bowls or cereal bowls, but they're kind of large. If I measure out, if I was going to have a bowl of cereal, which the typical serving of a bowl of cereal is about 1 cup, right? About 3/4 of a cup to a cup. When I measure that out, these bowls easily hold 2 to 2.5 cups. So right there, if you just pour from the box, right? Or if you're having a cup of soup, right? And you ladle out your soup or your lentil stew or something like that, it's going to take a couple of cups to fill that up. So I went, I kept them, but I didn't want to keep serving myself in those, kind of like what you did, Gail. And so I went to Target and found some small, tiny bowls, and I don't know what they would be called. It's more like maybe what you would serve yourself if you had some yogurt, like a smaller sort of little cup. And that's what I serve if I'm going to have some ice cream or some cereal or some things that I really want to mindfully manage the portion control, the portion size.
Yeah. Yeah, very good.
Yeah. But you have to actively pursue these things, right? You can't just, you have to, it's a cognitive decision to look at your plates and bowls and go, wait a minute. How big are these? And just because they put them in a box and say, here's your dinnerware, doesn't mean that's what you have to eat off of.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
You have to think about it.
Yeah,
I
think
do.
about it.
Yeah. Because I think, we've talked about this before a little bit too, that our mindset is clean the plate, clean the plate, clean the
Oh
plate.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love what you said, Dr. Gilbert, that we just frankly don't need that much food. I mean, that's really kind of a simple statement,
Mhm.
but it says a lot. It's actually we don't need that much food. It,
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's a good thing because,
Right.
I've been thinking for this for a long time, but when I was younger, I'd think, oh, it's just not fair that I can't eat more, but it's not fair. But you know what?
Yeah.
That's a good thing. I don't have to buy so much food, right?
Right.
It's a good
Right.
thing that I don't just have to keep eating to maintain a
Yes.
healthy weight and right. I don't have to just
Servings go much longer. Your leftovers last longer.
right.
Mhm.
That's true.
Right. And right now it's so expensive.
Yeah.
Food is gonna,
Mhm.
yeah. So I'm grateful
You know,
that it doesn't take a lot of
Yeah.
the real stuff
Of the
to
real
fill
stuff.
me up.
Exactly. And what you're talking about, I've had a lot of people say to me, well, eating plant-based or eating more whole food and real food and more plants. And, if you're choosing organic, it's more expensive. And maybe, but I don't buy it. I don't buy it because when you stop buying bags of Doritos and bags of cookies and containers of ice cream, those are not cheap. And soda is empty calories. That's not food, and it's expensive. So when you stop buying all of the junk food, and then you're eating less of what you are eating to begin with, and you're buying things bulk and whole, like whole grains and big big things of greens and cauliflower. On the whole, I don't think it's more expensive. Some areas I think maybe it looks like it because you're spending more at the outset. Maybe you're buying that beautiful salmon fillet and that's a little expensive, but you're also not filling your cart with $40, $50, $60 of the junk food. You know what I mean? So
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
yeah, I think it's interesting to kind of be aware of where the dollars are going. And if you're not hitting Starbucks and getting a white mocha several
Right,
times a
exactly.
week, and I mean
Yeah.
all that adds up. It adds
Yeah,
up.
and I once did a price comparison between like getting enough protein from the like a cereal from a cereal like Raisin Bran or something like that that people might think of as healthy, but getting a reasonable amount of protein. It wasn't high protein. It was whatever 20 grams of protein, from a milk and cereal, and how much that costs per gram of protein versus getting protein, let's say from beans, that same amount of protein from beans or even, pastured eggs. And the whole food, hands down, was always cheaper
Yeah.
per protein gram. It's amazing.
I like that. Yeah, I've never even thought of comparing like a bowl of cereal where people are thinking about getting their protein. Yeah, you can't get cheaper than dried beans. You literally cannot get cheaper than that. But we're paying for convenience and the ease, but at what cost? Not just to our waistlines and but overall to our health. So
right.
yeah.
So smaller plate. But I tell you what, on the flip side of that, I've been kind of pushing 5 cups of vegetables, 5 colors.
Yeah.
I mean, I ate my salad out of this big old big old bowl, Rachel, because I love to stir it up and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When it comes to the bulk of fiber and greens and salads, you kind of have to go the bigger bowl if you want to be able to mix things and toss. That's when. But gosh, I mean, we're talking minimal.
Right.
I mean, it's the bulk is just in the leaves and the broccoli. These things take up space, but they're not calorically dense.
Right. Yeah. And you want to keep your water bottle big. Your water, or your water glass big. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
For sure. So yeah. Well, you're doing some wedding preparation. So
we are. Yes.
Who's getting married?
My daughter is getting married at the end of August.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we know how it is. I have a day off, she has a day off. And so it's like hurry, let's, we got to go here and go there and buy this and buy that. So yeah, we're doing some wedding planning stuff today. And it's been a long weekend of graduation parties. I don't know about you guys, but we have our 5th graduation party tonight. And then we're finally done. It's been a marathon.
Yeah. And sitting out in the rain. Are you?
We did. I'm finally dry. Yeah, Gail, our graduation, West Albany graduation was on Thursday night last week, and it poured down rain, and we were outside in the stadium, and it's just funny to kind of look around at all of these hundreds and hundreds of people dressed up and going to watch their grad, and they're just wet dogs, drenched, hair flat, makeup melting off your face.
Yeah,
it's quite comical.
Yeah.
But you were there.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's what matters.
And that's what matters. And it kind
that's
of
what matters
together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was kind of fun, actually, in the end.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, well, after this running around errands, what's on the menu for dinner tonight?
Great question, because this is actually going to be a little different than normal. Like I said, we have our final graduation party tonight, and it's at a local pizza place. And we know the pizza place well. They don't have a really healthy menu. However, what Peter and I will typically do is order our pizza with little to no cheese, add extra sauce, and we do basically like a giant salad on top of our pizza. So it's every veggie that's on the list, that's what we put on it. So it's really, really fibrous, really dense, very filling. And then we'll even sometimes start with a starter salad. Pizza places always have salad, and typically you can get a pretty good salad bar with, add some peas and add cabbage and, the spinach and things. So that's for dinner. But, I love that we're talking about this today, because it's on my mind to be more aware of portion size. Because, a pizza restaurant, they're cutting the pieces. This is the same idea. They're cutting the pieces of pizza for you, but that does not mean that that's appropriate sizing, right? To have a piece or two. What does that mean? So I want to be, and I won't really be able to size on a plate. So this is going to be more of listening to my body and slowing down and paying attention to satiety.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you ask, you can get a salad pizza. I've done it. You get the sauce and very little cheese, like you said.
Yeah.
They bake that off, bring it out, and load it up with salad.
All the salad, exactly.
Just a thought.
So it's a great thought. Thank you, Gail. I hadn't thought of that.
Then you're not really limited to whatever they would put on a pizza with veggies.
Right.
Just have a salad pizza.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love this concept of advocating and thinking ahead with these restaurants. You can make it work anywhere. Even as a plant-based eater, I can eat anywhere. Every restaurant will have what I can eat. I just have to advocate for it and think it through and kind of go, okay, well, what if I did this, but added this, and asked, and they're always so willing to do something different for you. They really are. Yeah. Cool. How about you guys? What's for dinner?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't gone to the grocery yet. There's absolutely nothing in my fridge. I mean, this was the end of what was in my fridge. So, and I did get some good Hood strawberries.
Ooh,
so
yum.
I think probably tonight I have to fill all my greens back up again, because I'm even out of avocado. I mean, please. So I can't give you an honest answer, Rachel.
Well,
but it won't be a pizza and candy bars. It won't be that. I promise.
How about you, Julie? What's for dinner?
Yes, we have Zeke, who is like chef extraordinaire at home right now. Yeah. So, gosh, and he always just lets the spirit lead him.
Maybe I'll go to her house for dinner.
Gail, I think you're onto something here.
I think I am too. Yeah.
Last week, I have to say, we had salmon twice, and then rockfish, and then I even ate it cold the next day.
Oh, yum!
It was so good.
So good.
And so he's gonna come up with something yummy.
So it'll be good. It'll be
Mm.
amazing, but
Yeah.
it's a mystery at this point.
Mystery. It is. It is a mystery. And I'm always
Love it.
just like the sous chef, the prep, So
Yeah.
and I'm keeping that super fridge going. I mean,
Isn't it so wonderful?
it is good. I haven't eaten so much cabbage. I can't tell you.
Oh, I eat cabbage like a piece of bread. I just slice a big chunk off and munch on it. I literally just, or eat like an apple. I don't know. I'm trying to think of I just like, it's there. And once you have the momentum and the habit of making a super fridge, it can self-propel itself, right? All you got to really do is have a little bit of planning, a little bit of grocery shopping and prep. And it's just so supportive of healthy habits.
Yeah. So we got Kenny on the shopping. We've got Zeke on the grill, and we got me on the veggies. So we're a good team. We're a good team.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Rachel.
Perfect.
Well, you enjoy the rest of your time with your daughter, and yes, happy planning, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Sounds great. Bye,
All
guys.
right.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.